Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Student Podcast presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Brandon Smith, joined today by my great co-host, TJ Haas.
Today is a very sad day.
We got nothing to talk about anymore.
first day back, and the draft is now over. But we get to now cover the official NFL draft and not just predictions and our thoughts. We get to go over what truly happened, and I'm pretty excited to do that.
I am too. I think it was an interesting draft, a lot of unpredictability. But since you're a Steelers fan, since I'm a Bears fan, I'd like to talk about our team's respective draft classes. And I guess we'll just start with the Bears because, I don't know, I guess there's less interesting stuff.
That's true. That's true.
We drafted two good secondary players, cornerback Kyler Gordon out of Washington and safety out of Penn State, Jaquan Brisker. Good players. Cool. Our secondary looks really good. But
I find it crazy that
that's about all we did.
I'm just shocked so many teams passed on Andrew Booth. That's what the Gordon pick made me realize, is that Booth should have been taken here.
Thinking about it now,
but
I'm kind of happy we did. I don't know why. I don't know why Booth fell, but I'm really happy with Kyler Gordon because he was the definition of a shutdown corner in college.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I know you weren't a big fan of the Brisker pick, at least when it happened.
I love it now, dude.
I was gonna say, it's such a nice pick. I mean, he's gonna fit well. He'll probably you're basically drafting both a starting strong safety and a better version, and getting a better version of Eddie Jackson on one pick, and that's kind of something the Bears need.
Any version of Eddie Jackson that wasn't what he was last year is better.
Exactly, just better. That's really it with those picks. I mean, the fact that they went doubled down in the secondary.
It was surprising.
I was shocked. I really expected Pickens. They go at 48.
Yeah.
But we'll get into Pickens in a little bit.
Stop.
Don't worry. Let's go into the receiver you guys drafted here. 3rd round.
Yep.
Velus Jones Jr. out of Tennessee.
You know what frustrates me? I got to find a way to slam the Niners in some way. So this is my way. If Debo got traded, they were reportedly going to pick him in the 2nd round.
Velus Jones?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, but just imagine the amount of praise that would have gotten.
It wouldn't have.
It would have.
No, it wouldn't have. Because, I mean...
He's going to be so good in the Shanahan offense. Well...
I think Velus Jones is going to be pretty good in your guys' offense. So
exactly, because we run a Shanahan offense.
I mean, that doesn't make this a great pick.
It does not a great pick.
The only issue is he's going to be 25, I think, when the season starts.
And he had like, no college production.
I mean, that's the same with Pickens, though. Pickens didn't have much.
Yeah.
Pickens didn't have much college production, especially with this past year.
Hell, Trayvon Walker didn't have any college production.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of these prospects. They're drafting for upside. He's got the skill set you guys need. But you guys also addressed a lot of offensive line depth, drafting 4 offensive linemen.
That was basically, I'm going to clean up the phrase a little bit, but just throwing it at the wall and hoping that it sticks.
Yeah.
You know? What they're banking on is one of those players becoming a good player.
I bet you that's Braxton Jones in my eyes.
I feel like it's
or Kramer. Kramer could probably start, honestly, at center.
And then put Patrick at guard.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of best case scenario. Or
you know who I actually really like? I like Nicholas Thomas, actually, from San Diego State, the brother of Cam Thomas.
You mean Zachary Thomas?
Oh, Zachary Thomas, my bad. I'm still learning.
Yeah, you're good.
He's been the one guy I've been having trouble with. But I really like the way he fits. I think he's a good zone blocker. But man, I do want to talk about probably one of the more intriguing picks of our draft. That's Dominique Robinson.
That was one of my favorite picks, I won't lie. Outside of Gordon, that was probably my favorite pick.
Dude, he's got good potential. He's got really good potential. I think he can maybe. Our pass rush of the future is Dominique Robinson and Travis Gibson, which isn't even that bad.
It really isn't. I mean, like you just said, there's a ton of potential there.
ESPN's depth chart has Al-Quadin Muhammad, sorry if I butchered that, listed as a starter. That's not going to happen. At least it better not.
To be fair, I don't think there will be a true starter on the other side. I think obviously Robert Quinn's going to start.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be like a 50-50 split between Gibson and Muhammad until until Gibson proves himself to be worthy of the full-time role.
Yeah.
Which he'll probably get by the end of the year.
The running back we drafted is a little interesting. He his last name is Ebner, I think.
Treston Ebner.
Treston Ebner,
out of
yeah.
Baylor.
He had a weird first name. I didn't quite know it, but really interesting player. He kind of reminds me of Tariq Cohen watching him on video, so I really like that. Hopefully we use him.
I was gonna say, there's always a couple 6th-round running backs that perform really well. 6th-round running backs are usually hits rather than misses, so I expect Ebner to at least do something.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk about your a couple players in your UDFA class because I think
Jack Sanborn, baby.
That was one of the better classes. Yeah, I was gonna say Jack Sanborn at linebacker, who will will definitely get a spot on the roster.
Dude, he could.
He should have been drafted.
You know what? As much as I hate to say it, he could start.
I mean, there's a potential for him to start.
If we need 3 starters, we only have 2 linebackers right now. So,
I mean, he should have been like a 4th, 5th round pick in my eyes. The fact that he went undrafted shocked me. But there's also Master Teague for Ohio State. I mean, he's not that good, but I mentioned him because he played with Fields.
Yep.
And I think
he played good with Fields.
Honestly, that alone might get him a roster spot as well. They could go in with, would that be 4 running backs? Or that would be 5 because you have Darrington Evans as well.
Yeah, so it would be Montgomery, Herbert, Ebner, Teague, and Darrington Evans.
I would expect Teague to probably play on the practice squad then.
Yeah.
But no, you got a bunch.
I didn't even dive that much into our UDFA class.
You got a bunch of receivers here. I've heard a lot of good things about Henry
Chase Allen, actually, too.
Chase, yeah. I was gonna mention Chase Allen as well. It's probably like a tight end 3. But you guys got a bunch of.
Jalen Jones is a high potential guy too, I think.
You guys got a bunch of just potential, if I'm being honest. Most of these guys obviously won't make the roster, but the few guys we just named, I think Henry Litwin, he's a receiver out of Slippery Rock. I've heard a ton of good things on him through Bears Twitter.
I'd rather Jalen Jones make the active roster than Kendall Vildor. Seriously.
I hate that Kendall Vildor sucks because I loved him coming out of college, but I mean, you're right.
And he played good his first year. He did actually play really nice, but
and then
he became a starter.
He fell off the cliff.
But
sadly.
So how about your Steelers?
All right. Okay. I wanted to say I gave your guys' draft a B. I graded all the draft classes, gave yours a B. I think it was solid, honestly.
I'd say overall ours is like a C+.
It's not perfect, but I think there's a lot of potential there, which is why I graded it a little higher.
Secondary looks crazy though. We got one of the better secondaries in the league.
Dude, that is true. Honestly,
it is true.
Those rookies, again, I think those are guys who will come and play right away.
And I think and I'll kind of finish up here, but like Gordon, it's not like he's a project that has to develop. He's very polished. He's very refined. I don't know why I wasn't higher on him. I just felt like he kind of got lost in the mix of the top 6 guys.
That's kind of what happened.
And he's just kind of next. But he was always overshadowed by Trent McDuffie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, for good reason.
But that also let Kyler Gordon see more targets, in which he played well.
Yeah, that does give him a higher sample size. He did kind of fall on my big board, and I think it was just because I was high on a lot of other guys.
Yeah.
But no, this Steelers draft, so good. Like, you know my initial reaction from round 1. I was very upset that we drafted Pickett over
Do a
Malik
redraft
Willis.
right now. Would you take Malik Willis instead?
No.
What?
If I could, I would easily take Pickett over Willis.
Oh yeah, okay, it's okay. I get it.
Because I mean, I realized that Pittsburgh is in a position where we need a pro-ready quarterback, and Malik Willis is not that. Pickett, it was, and I think you can agree, the most pro-ready. Maybe for you, you'd probably consider Howell there.
I'm not changing my quarterback rankings just because where guys went and got drafted.
I know. That's why I'm saying Howell might be your number 1 most pro-ready. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I don't know if he'll start right away. Tomlin said that Pickett has a chance to start week 1, which is why I'm okay with the pick. Pittsburgh's been around this dude forever. Ever since he's gone to Pittsburgh, they know him better than anyone else.
He literally shares a practice facility.
My point. My point exactly. There's a reason why they took him 20th overall. My only issue is that we probably could have taken McDuffie, who was there at 20, and then taken Pickett round 2.
I don't know if he would have been there, but there's a good chance. Or if not, you could have still taken Malik Willis, who you guys clearly liked.
We loved Malik Willis as well. I mean, to be fair, we smokescreened everybody. Everyone was like, "Oh, we're taking Willis 20." No, we took Pickett. I'm okay with it now. I've grown on it. It makes sense in the long term of the Steelers' future. Second round, taking Pickens. Dude.
I love George Pickens.
Dude, it's so good.
He has so much AFC North energy, and it's beautiful.
It's so good. He's gonna recreate the hatred between the Steelers and Ravens because that hasn't been there in a few years. He's gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna love it.
Dude.
Pickens is going to be a menace. I was just telling you, I saw a video saying he's going to be the Grayson Allen of the NFL,
But I'm actually going to like George Pickens.
I'm going to love Pickens, dude. It's so nice.
I hate Grayson Allen. I hope he stubs his toe.
Speaking of receivers, we also took Calvin Austin in the 4th round. Love this pick. We need true speed. We don't have true speed.
That's what you guys did, I noticed. You guys upgraded the speed of the offense from James Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Ray McLeod gone. You replaced it with George Pickens.
Calvin Austin,
and then who was Miles Boykin? Yeah, Miles Boykin.
All three of those guys ran faster 40s than all those previous guys that we had.
It's a relatively deep receiving core.
It's a 5-man deep core right now.
Yeah. So, but my only question, and it's a very valid question. I know you kind of brushed it off, but it makes me a little worrisome about the Deontay Johnson contract that you took, the ex-receiver.
But that's to be fair. I mean, they have different skill sets. I think
a little bit, yeah. They definitely have different skill sets. I don't even hate the idea of playing Chase Claypool in the slot, which you said they did do last year, I guess. But I don't hate.
We played Claypool in the slot. Matt Canada already came out and said we'll play Pickens both inside and outside. We needed a true third receiver is what it came down to, and we got him. The fact that we took Calvin Austin in the 4th was a mix of two things. One, knowing Baltimore wanted him. Baltimore was going to take him because they had a pick right after us, and they were going to take him there.
They took a punter. Not even the best punter in the
draft. They took a punter before this pick.
I know.
It's so crazy to me that they took a punter, and then after still wanting Calvin Austin, we took him the pick before them just because he fell. I mean, I think he fell a little bit in this draft, probably. Yeah.
You didn't even touch on probably your favorite pick.
Oh, no, this was definitely my favorite pick. I just kind of went receiver to receiver. DeMarvin Leal in the 3rd round, biggest steal. One of the biggest steals in the entire draft in my eyes. Like, just entirely. I mean, he was my 27th ranked prospect. We got him at 84. He's going to come in, and if Tuitt doesn't play, he'll start at the defensive end spot right away. If not, I bet you he starts at nose tackle by halfway through the year. This dude, he's just so good. He is incredible. He'll probably be our future nose tackle once Tyson Alualu retires after this year, I'd assume, considering he's coming off of a major injury and is like 38 and a half years old or something along those lines. I don't know. He's really old.
Football old.
I mean, we didn't really do much else. We drafted Cam Hayward's brother. I think everyone expected that, though, if I'm being honest. He'll play backup tight end.
Oh, how about those UDFAs? You got anything interesting in there?
Mateo Duran. Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in love with this pick. I had him ranked really highly for a while, and then he kind of fell off the past few months. But him as a UDFA, I really wanted running back 2 in this draft. We didn't draft one. I was a little upset. But
Isaiah Spiller in like the 4th round would have been crazy.
If only. I really wish we could have done that.
Shout out to the Chargers.
I think that was a fit made in heaven.
Yeah.
You
know what's crazy? My comp for him was Austin Eckler.
It's going to be such a great backfield.
So there was 2 players that I could think of off the top of my head who I had comps for.
Going to the same team?
Going to the same team. And it was Isaiah Spiller to Austin Eckler, and then obviously both on the Chargers. And then I had Kyler Gordon compared to Jalen Johnson. So I thought that ended up working out really well.
No, I mean, you really compared Johnson to Kyler Gordon?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I'm not against it, but
I somewhat struggled as ball hawks a little bit. So they're really good in coverage, just kind of struggle as ball hawks.
The 2 things I want to take from the Steelers draft class, though, is 1, it really seems like for the first 4 rounds, we just took best player available.
Yeah.
Or I should say rounds 2 through 4.
Yeah.
We just took
obviously Pickett wasn't the best player.
Yeah, of course. But we kind of just took BPA, and it worked really well in our favor. And then the second thing, I wanted no quarterbacks in this draft class.
You got 2.
And we drafted 2. Chris Oladokun, you know what? I think you probably see this pick as dumb, taking another quarterback. Want me to tell you something?
There was only one dumb quarterback pick in this draft.
What? Don't say Pickett.
No.
Okay.
Bailey Zappi.
No, that was such a great pick. Trust me. Have faith, all right?
No.
No, but okay. I want to just real quick before we get into the rest of the draft. I just want to say this Chris Oladokun pick. I think it has more to entail than just the player itself. This pick is what's going to get Mason Rudolph out of Pittsburgh. I think.
Yes, sir.
That is what you love to hear. We need
Dude.
Rudolph. Rudolph is already the QB3. Garrett, like today, is QB3. I don't care how you feel about Pickett. Pickett is better than Mason Rudolph.
Yes.
I would be even willing to say that Oladokun has potential, or can through training camp outperform Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
And there's no way we go into the season with 4 quarterbacks.
That's true.
The last time my team did that was probably what? I'm pretty sure it was probably the Patriots when they had Brady. And then
Could be.
Look how that turned out.
Stop. Pickett's not Tom Brady.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the downfall of the entire AFC was in that moment. But no, I think we had a pretty good draft.
So who's the loser of the draft? One team. Pick a loser.
Yeah, I don't like to do it because they drafted starters still, but it's got to be New England, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think they drafted that bad. I think
They drafted guys that I like. You have a list.
I have all the draft classes here, so. Yeah. But my
They drafted 2 running backs.
That was bad.
They drafted Bailey Zappi. Can you imagine what would have happened on Twitter if the Bears took a quarterback in the 4th round? Can you imagine?
You'd be pissed.
I wouldn't even be that mad.
Why?
Why? It wouldn't bother me that much. But Bears or NFL Twitter who thinks that the Bears just absolutely hate Justin Fields would be like, oh my God, Justin Fields is going to lose his job to Bailey Zappi. That's exactly what would be happening.
I don't know. I like the idea of Bailey Zappi because they just like the tall white quarterbacks. And
that's Denver.
I mean, that's also New England.
That's true.
Come on. Brady and then Mac Jones and now Zappi. And Zappi's obviously going to just be the career backup. That's what you and me both saw him as, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why so early, though. If Carson Strong didn't get drafted, I don't think Bailey Zappi would have. I don't care about his injury.
I'm just so glad that Howell's going to go somewhere where he'll eventually have a chance to start.
Howell, first pick in the 5th round.
That's great value.
I think that's the true thing we got to touch on. I mean, everyone realizes it, but I don't want to go too in depth. But quarterbacks fell. I mean, this is truly a bad quarterback class.
I don't care. You manifested it though.
I manifested Malik Willis to Tennessee, and I am proud of that. Okay, oh my God, I remember it was pick 86 when they took him, and I was sitting there with my dad, and my dad's like, "So who do you think they're going to take here? They're trading up for, or are they not trading up? Did they trade up?
I don't know. I was driving at that time.
But my dad was like, I wonder who they're going to take. And I'm like, I got no idea. I bet you it's Malik Willis, and if I had to guess. And he's like, no way they take a quarterback 3rd round because he just didn't see, I mean, he understands that they could use another one because Tannehill sucks. But
he's mid.
I hate Tannehill. But and then I saw the Malik Willis pick, and I was so happy, dude. It's like, I think that's what I really want to touch on is not really the fact that quarterbacks fell, but I think every quarterback landed in the perfect situation.
Yeah.
Truly. Because they fell so far, that gave teams more flexibility to take a guy that fits well.
Yeah, I mean, and I was listening to a press conference, or I saw it on Twitter, from Ben McAdoo, the Panthers offensive coordinator. He was like, they were really gassing up RPO quarterbacks. And I was like, oh, should have saw that coming.
Dude, did you hear? Were you watching when Corral got drafted? By any chance, were you watching it? Dude, they were talking about Corral having a ton of issues.
I did see something.
Alcohol and depression and stuff like that. That's crazy.
He did fight through that. But
I'm surprised nothing like that had. I'm honestly happy none of that came out.
You know what's crazy? I did hear that he did kind of fall because of character concerns.
Yeah, and I think that's.
I don't know I don't even know what those are.
I don't like the character concerns. Argument.
Did people hate George Pickens because he's an absolute menace and listens to young boy driving down Highway 50
wearing black Air Forces?
Dude,
who cares?
Dude,
the picture of him getting drafted. I'm gonna make that my wallpaper.
That's hilarious.
That thing is sick. I love that picture. I love Pickens. Pickens is gonna be my favorite player on that team. I'll tell you that much.
He probably will be mine too once Mitch's contract is up.
All right, I have a good topic for you. Let's just be clear. You and me both agree that the Patriots had the worst draft class,
yes.
Right? Okay. Who do you think had the most underrated draft class? We have the teams like the Jets and the Ravens who are talked about as the best.
I see who you have pull up.
Oh, no, that's not.
Okay.
Sorry, I just didn't want to scroll anymore. But
that's a good one, though.
It is. I agree. I have it on Minnesota, by the way.
Yes, Minnesota.
But Minnesota had an incredible draft class in my eyes.
Who do I think was underrated?
I have mine prepared. I just want you to go first.
Man.
But like I just said, Jets obviously probably won the draft. Ravens probably won the draft. Patriots lost. Who is way up there that people aren't really talking about?
I don't know. That's tough. I'm gonna go with the Texans.
That's a great one. Let me pull it up here.
I'm glad you have all this pulled up because I do not.
I have it all ready to go. I graded them as an A+ draft as well, honestly.
Derek Stingley, Kenyon Green, Jalen Petrie, let's go. John Mechie, Christian Harris, Damian Pierce, Thomas Booker, and then there's some other guys in the late rounds. Man, Colby Harvell-Peel as an undrafted guy. That's a great pickup.
Dude, that was
Tristan McCollum out of Sam Houston State, the brother of Zion McCollum, who I actually really liked.
I liked.
It's like my number 9 corner.
Dude, this entire draft was so good.
Like they're
just drafting for good, ready to start players.
not Kenyon Green, but Nick Caserio, dude. Like he gets a lot of hate. Maybe some of it's deserved, but I don't count last year's draft. He had 4 picks. Or something stupid.
They drafted a potential franchise quarterback in the 3rd round.
Yes.
I'm going to say potential because he was probably you and me have said time and time again, he's the best rookie quarterback of last year.
He was
probably.
The best rookie quarterback.
Maybe Mac Jones even.
But no, I won't even say that. But, dude, I really think that the Texans crushed it. They got some really high upside players, and they got guys who can contribute right away. John Mechie's going to add a whole new element to that offense.
They really drafted exactly how I personally draft in like mocks and stuff.
Madden.
Yeah, exactly. I go a different position every time usually, unless there's like a major position of need.
They didn't double dip, did they?
They did not. They didn't double dip in the draft itself once.
Yeah, you can kind of say that. I mean, Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, maybe.
That's corner and a safety. That's
maybe Petrie plays corner because he does have some slot flexibility.
Yeah, I mean he does. They might use him that way. But
I love him as a safety.
I mean, they lost Justin Reed. They have no safeties now, or no good enough safeties. So I expect
that was my guy too in the draft.
I know it. Oh, dude, I knew it was. I knew you'd love that pick when it happened. But here, mine is the Tennessee Titans.
They have a lot of like my draft crushes in there.
I know that they traded away A.J. Brown, but I think it was potentially the smart move, in the sense of they didn't want to pay him a ton of money, and I get why. I get why you don't want.
This receiver market sucks.
The receiving market isn't great. I mean, you got the 18th overall pick for A.J. Brown, and you drafted Treylon Burks, which is pretty close to a carbon copy of A.J. Brown as you can get.
You just need him to refine himself as a route runner.
And that's it. And he can do everything else that A.J. Brown can do.
He's got all the physical tools.
Roger McCreary in the top of the 2nd was a great pick. They needed corner really bad.
Surprised he went over Booth.
Nicholas Petit-Frere in the 3rd.
That was such a good pick.
He's going to start at right tackle. He will start right away. Again, obviously we touched on Malik Willis already. Hassan Haskins, they need a true number 2 running back.
He was my number 5 running back in this draft.
He was probably, I think he was in my top 10.
Chico Okonkwo.
Dude, they've obviously missed that Jonnu Smith type of tight end in that offense, and that's exactly what he's going to bring.
Yeah, I don't care. Talk about the next pick. I love it.
Oh, the Kyle Phillips pick?
Yep.
One of my biggest steals of the draft.
Hunter Renfrow.
Dude, this dude is so good. He's going to play true in the slot.
I think he might even start in the slot right away.
He should. Who else would start there? Because Robert Woods might play in the slot a little bit.
I don't think so.
But
I think he'll play like right receiver.
But no, you got... Yeah, as you say, you got Robert Woods and Treylon Burks on the outside with Kyle Phillips.
Unless you do want to put Treylon Burks on the outside or on the inside.
I don't know. He's going to play both, I think.
Yeah.
He's going to be more versatile in that sense. And then their last couple of picks were Theo Jackson, who's a safety, just depth at safety and depth at linebacker with Chance Campbell.
Dude, he's a tackling machine, though, actually, Chance
Campbell.
I do
like Chance Campbell a lot. I do want to mention, though, they have 2 of my favorite UDFA signings, one being Haskell Garrett, a guy who should have been drafted in the 5th round.
Reggie Robertson, too.
I didn't. Yeah, there's 3 then. Reggie Robertson, I got another guy who should have been like a 5th round pick. And then our McHenry own Andrew Rupchich signed with the Titans. Good for him. I'm really happy that he got signed by a team.
Yeah.
He got injured at the combine, which sucked.
Oh, yeah, he did. I forgot about that.
But Nah, he's gonna get a chance to make the roster. I hope he does. That'd be awesome. But no, Tennessee had such a good draft class. It's crazy to me.
So who had not the worst draft, but who do you think did a bad job of filling needs?
I might have to go with San Francisco.
I gotta see.
I didn't like their draft that much. There were a couple picks I thought were good.
Drake Jackson's underrated.
Drake Jackson was an incredible pick.
Ty Davis price might have went a little high.
He went way too high. What? But San Francisco reaches on a running back every year.
They do.
In the third round. They did it with Trey Sermon last year, who wasn't worth a third-round pick.
Yeah. So, I mean, none of those guys are worth mentioning, it feels like.
Danny Gray is okay, but
he fits the scheme well.
But I honestly would have potentially taken a guy like Calvin Austin even over him.
Ooh.
I think that he would fit really well, too.
Nice.
Spencer Burford is a backup tackle. Samuel Womack, not even that great of a corner, if I'm being honest, in this draft. And then they draft. I think the only other pick I really like is Tariq Castro-Fields in the 6th. Yeah. I think this dude's...
Why would they take a quarterback at Mr. Irrelevant?
I was going to say, they took a quarterback at Mr. Irrelevant. But, good for Brock Purdy, I guess. But, why are you taking a quarterback? At that point, take... I think there you got to take Mario Goodrich or Josh Jobe.
Mario Goodrich. Look up his stats. Look on PFF. Go on PFF. Look at his stats. He is top of every cornerback stat. Not at the top, but he's up in the top 5 with Sauce Gardner, Broderick McCurry, Andrew Booth.
Probably Kobe Bryant was up there too.
Kobe Bryant was up there too.
Who? So that begs the question.
I didn't even give mine.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that begs the question. I wonder why he didn't get drafted. There has to be a reason because I was high on him too.
Kobe Bryant Mario Goodrich.
Kobe Bryant did get drafted.
Oh, I thought you meant didn't get drafted high.
Oh no, why didn't Mario Goodrich get drafted? Period. That's what I'm wondering.
Ridiculous, dude. I was so high on him.
Went to a great spot in Philly though.
Yeah. So two teams who I thought actually did have a really good draft, but I thought they both did a really bad job with their biggest position of need. Mm-hmm. The Ravens, they crushed the draft. I will say that. They crushed the draft. They didn't add a receiver. That's not good.
That's the only issue.
That's the big issue.
To be fair, their value got taken quick every time they were up.
Man, that didn't go. It didn't. The Ravens, they had a great draft, but they didn't add a receiver. Isaiah Likely might play receiver.
I was about to say, I think they drafted Likely to play slot receiver. I won't even lie to you.
So you have that. You also have the Packers, who I thought nailed it. I thought the Packers did a great job.
Thank you.
The Packers did a good job. Zach Tom late in the drafts was a good pick. Sean Ryan was a good pick. Enagbare at that spot was good value.
Oh my God!
In the 5th round, but with what'd they do? They picked 34th in the 2nd round. Yep.
I know you don't like the Christian Watson pick.
I like Christian Watson as a player. I do, but I think what the Packers should have done, I think they should have taken Pickens there because he's a more refined route runner, and that's what they lack on offense is that true route runner.
But I think Dobbs makes up for that because I think Dobbs is one of the most pure route runners in this entire class.
Yeah, but I'd feel more comfortable with Pickens because I think Pickens, of all the receivers available, did compare best to Devontae Adams out of anybody. I'm not saying it's a good comp for him, but he was closest to him, that surgical route runner.
I think I comped him to Devontae Adams because he's just a well-rounded receiver. And that's what Devontae Adams was. He's just a really well-rounded receiver.
But I don't know. Watson can be a fun player, especially in that Shanahan-LaFleur kind of offense. But I don't know if I'm fully confident in what they did at the receiver position.
No, I think I love it.
I love their draft.
I'm sorry. I had to disagree, though. But because Christian Watson, I think maybe
Christian Watson's going to be good eventually.
I think you're saying, if you mean just taking Christian Watson without knowing you're going to get Dobbs, I guess. But you got to look and realize they did get Dobbs. I think Dobbs starts right away. I think Dobbs and Watson are both starters day one.
And then Cobb at the slot.
No, I think it's going to be Lazard starting as well.
Lazard's a true outside.
I know he is. I'm not saying that they have to get 2 outside and a slot to be the starters. I think those are just going to be their top 3 guys.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised they didn't add a tight end either.
Cobb and Amari Rodgers will be their slot slot guys. Sammy Watkins is also there. Their receiving core is pretty deep now.
Yeah.
And they still have multiple guys that Rodgers is very familiar with, so the offense could get running early on while he gets used to these rookies, because he'll probably not show up to training camp or any of that stuff like never shows up to.
Yeah.
But I also, I think the Quay Walker pick was the most underrated pick in the first round. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, why would you take a linebacker? Devondre Campbell was all pro. He's going to come off the edge.
I don't hate.
He is coming off the edge as well.
That's an interesting point.
He's such a versatile linebacker. He's going to fit that system so well. Because
I hate them taking Sean Ryan and Zach Tom, dude. Ugh.
I love them both. That's why you don't like it? Okay.
No, I hate the way. I love their draft.
You just don't like it because they're going to the Packers?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I hate them. I hate them for it. I hate them.
Both were such good value, too.
They're going to turn into all pros, too. That's
the thing, though. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think Zach Tom starts.
Trade him. Trade him to the Bears.
Shut up. I think Zach Tom is going to be the guy who's going to be the...
Kind of like swing tackle.
Yeah, he's going to be a great backup tackle. Yeah. Because I see I just gonna sound crazy, but I see their 7th round pick, Rasheed Walker, starting.
That was great.
I had a early 3rd round grade on this dude, and he fell to the 7th. This is such a great pick. He can there's already talks of him starting at right tackle for them right away, as he should. And again, that leaves Zach Tom to be the kind of backup rotational guy.
Free my boy.
Dude, it was such a good draft.
So here's another question, actually. Of all the first-round picks, we're going to take out Kenny Pickett and we're going to take out Cole Strange. Which one surprised you the most?
Surprised me?
Yeah. Not even that it's bad. Just surprised. Because I know you don't even hate the Pickett pick that much.
Yeah. To be fair, that does surprise me that they took him.
It did surprise you, yes, and it surprised all of us.
But now it makes sense. But okay.
Right in the moment, Thursday night, you were like, what the hell?
Oh, God, that's actually kind of tough because I feel like a lot of these picks were predictable. I think the Kyle Hamilton pick, honestly.
Okay.
I
got 2.
It's one of those. It's one of those picks you look back at it. You look at it a day or two later, and it's like that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
But think about it in the moment. They just paid Marcus Williams a ton of money to play free safety, and they have Chuck Clark, who is playing great at strong safety. So I'm thinking, why would they take another safety? I think what when they were picking, I even told you that I was telling you that it was going to be McDuffie because it made the most sense.
You know who wouldn't have even been bad there? As much as I don't like this player, Jahan Dotson. I felt like would have been really solid.
I was about to say Treylon Burks would have been great there.
Treylon Burks even.
Burks probably should have gone there. Because then they traded. They knew they were there. The Marquise Brown trade was set in stone the day before.
Yeah. So
they already knew he was gone. So I don't know why they wouldn't have taken either of those two.
So my 2 biggest surprises were Chris Olave. Yeah. That was weird.
That was weird because they traded.
They traded it up and they did not have to.
If you look at the trades they've made, that pretty much means they traded away a future first and third, a couple
and
thirds,
a second.
Yeah, it was like a future first, second, a couple thirds in general. I think both this past draft and next year's in order to get Olave. And I like
Olave, but
they would have gotten him at 16. Is my issue
probably. And then the other one. It surprised me to death. Jameson Williams.
I loved it.
I like it. I love it. Well, I actually don't like it. It scares the crap out of me. But, dude, it's just that was a lot. That was a far way to go up.
Oh, but they fleeced Minnesota. Let's be real.
They fleeced Minnesota.
They swapped first, swapped seconds, and gave up a third. You just saw that. I think you just saw it. That's. No, you want me to talk about surprises in general? Why is Minnesota trading down so much with division rivals?
That was hilarious.
I don't get it. They did it twice. But they still had such a good draft.
They still had a solid draft.
Lewis Cine fits perfectly at
What did I tell you about safeties?
There would be 3 in the first?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that ended up working out pretty good.
To be fair, I don't think Daxton Hill is going to play safety.
He's going to play slot corner.
Which is kind of dumb.
I don't even hate it.
Because I hate playing him as a true slot corner. They need to be using him as...
Is Jesse Bates gone?
No. Okay, this is my prediction. Bates, obviously they're free safety. Daxton Hill will start at strong safety. They're going to use Von Bell as a box linebacker because that's how he succeeded the most in New Orleans, and he has not played as good as his, I think, last year.
New Orleans might be good next year, too.
New Orleans lost both of their top safeties and yet have a better secondary.
They literally upgraded, I feel like.
Considering they just signed Tyrann Mathieu to a 3-year, $33 million contract. I mean, that's...
I think Tyrann Mathieu's better than Marcus Williams, and I think Marcus May is better than whoever they had.
It was
Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with that, though, because, I mean, Malcolm Jenkins was really good up until his last... I think Malcolm Jenkins is probably a Hall of Famer.
He's borderline, but, like, right now, like, I think
he was playing
Marcus
good.
May is going to be really good, but...
No, I mean, any other kind of, just picks in general you want to highlight?
Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas. Dude, that guy's unreal.
I love Joe Douglas.
I would literally trade first-round pick for the next 2 years to get Joe Douglas as my GM.
I don't blame you.
Dude, Joe Douglas is
That's funny because I don't blame you at all for that.
Joe Douglas is...
You know what? No. You know what? You finish up what you're about to say. There is one more thing I want to talk about because we only got a couple minutes
They
left.
got two of my biggest draft crushes. They got Garrett Wilson, who was my best player in this entire draft. Mm-hmm. And then they got Jeremy Ruckert.
They got two of my biggest draft crushes, too. Both Jermaine Johnson late in the first and Sauce Gardner. A dude I was a big fan of.
You know what, though? I'm also very happy the league kind of agreed with me on that Jermaine Johnson thing late first.
Which is an issue, bro. Not everyone agreed, though, he fell so far. Like, everyone was saying
surprised.
That he was falling.
I was very surprised. Shout out to the Jets, though.
But real quick, before we leave, I do want to just say, Troy Anderson was a second-rounder. I'm just happy that happened.
Yes, sir.
He deserved it. Atlanta's such a good fit.
Great.
He'll learn from Deion Jones, and he's going to be so good.
Atlanta actually had a pretty solid draft.
I think every team had a great draft, except for maybe New England. I think every other team drafted
Bears
really
choked.
Well. You can think that all you want, but...
Hey, our secondary, though.
Kenny Pickett, next Dan Marino. We're fine. Let's go. I'm kidding. But I think he'll be pretty good.
It's funny how you switch stuff like that. I can't even blame you.
I have to.
You have to.
Because it makes sense now.
You have to just guess it.
I realized it. All right. I think that's about to be it.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Play Action Podcast presented by Warrior Student Media. We'll catch you next time for probably more draft talk.
Yes.
For TJ Hawes, I'm Brandon Smith. Have a great day.